So yeah, we just did our dealings here. I suppose we saved this guy's ass. Who do we have here? Step closer and present yourself. Buddy, you're going to feel bad about this stone in a moment. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. Shouldn't just glare silently. Hmm. I'm not gonna be rude to them. I don't have reason to be. Ah, so you're the fire starter. You're thinking of Kate Flint. May he rest in peace. Sirius and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Karis's edict of fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. Must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such righteous force. Go on in. The soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of camp. You know what? That was a respectful conversation. More or less. Who are you? Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to the collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, I don't know what those are, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. I'm gonna go. Might I take a closer look in one of those crates? Standard inspection procedure. He hesitates and then corrects with a welcoming smile. Of course, by all means, I have nothing to hide. He makes a show of removing a crate's lid and showing off his wares with an open palm. His supplies are all perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his mercantile or mercantile? I think it's mercantile license. Everything's in. Okay, so the thing is, I didn't mean to police this, man. I meant to just get something out of it. I'm not gonna bluff. I think everything is in order here. I'm glad to hear it. There isn't a temptation in the world that will steer me from the good favor of Tunon or Kairos. Well, let me see your wares. Pentiber rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you like. Alright, other. Is there a trash? I mean, I assume other is trash, right? So, let's trade these in. He does not really have anything I'm interested in. Alright. Yeah, okay. Where are you? Got no time to chitter, too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentibor if you have rings to trade. Why rings specifically? This cart is bursting with fresh food and useful goods. The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Uh-huh. We are looting this camp like a motherfucker. These arrows were... what? Fletched with precision and care. Oh, fletching is when you put the feathers on, right? The sparring dummy shows the deep gouges or gouge? I don't know, gouges of hard use. These spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. The wood used for these parapets is pristine and finely cut. These walls have yet to see any battle. Alright. I'm gonna save in case I get myself into trouble with all this stealing I'm doing. Sotanis curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't a problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe. Wait, we're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masters. For the masses? What masses? Oh, I need my glasses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They called the disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our clothes are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Maltani went missing near Echo Call? Yeah, Echo Call Crossing. And I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotenis flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. What an... oh, okay, no, I'm not gonna be an asshole. Sorry, I just had to check because my notebook still shows the BRB screen. And I thought for a second that I may have forgot to switch back. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the great general, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. You know what? We're not going to be hostile just yet. You can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep an eye out for these. Good hunting. Need something else? I'd like to see your wares, sure. Alright, let's sell more shit. Alright. Imbued Rod of Strength. I don't know if I should be selling these because we might find someone who can use them. Yeah. Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. Okay, get out of this camp. Bitter quip. Alright. I remember him. Glory to the voices of Nerat. Projecting his salutations for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Wait, or is that... No, he's not the guy who was in the first fight. We'll see. Fatebinder Rixro, I presume. Yeah, that was a lady, actually. She also had a cool name that I cannot recall right now. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitterquip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitterquip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffling and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One? Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitterquip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored. That will be a fine day. Farewell. Bitterquip nods as you depart. I am Lucia, this is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. Yeah. From under her helmet you hear an audible scoff. We have been assigned to babies... Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. Alright. I could use some training. Well, not from you apparently. Let's try Marcus. Oh. Hmm. What does she use again? Well, I should absolutely train her. Well, let's check about this level up first. How do we do this? Oh, I see how it is. Might affects bows as well. Yeah, one attribute point to check. Let's give that to accuracy, I suppose. Hmm. Yeah, bow mastery. Yeah, you want that. What's this? Quests. That's okay. Back creation. No, thank you. You good? Alright. Oh, okay, that's just a level up bonus that will slowly take away. Can I name my... No, I can't name my save files. Oh, we noticed something. Also, there's something here. Nice. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they decided to cook.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff to the ground, or on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with the mystic energy. Wait, not the mystic energy, just the mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, whirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I am here to proclaim Kairos' edict. The valley was sealed in preparation for this moment. Governor Rix Raw. It's so weird to say that name out. Long have we been honored by your iron, now we are honored by your presence. I must apologize for my lord's tempers run high of late. I'm gonna keep it civil for now. Bow to the Archons. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Eddring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Nerat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. That thing. Camaraderie. It requires no... Wait. Which one should we choose? Alright, I'm not. I'm tempted to be hostile, but I'm gonna just say I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
For the second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
Alright, let's make some jaws drop. Oh wow, two of these are really hostile, huh? In honor of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken by Kairos' Day of Swords. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of everyone in this valley unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Swords. The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. This seems... Yeah, I just don't want to tell them how to do their jobs just yet. So that last one is what we're going with. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. It's every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls, instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. Oh wow, I'm not gonna go that rough, but I'm gonna say learn to work together or we're all doomed.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
The thing is, I have a bit of disgust towards the chorus. Especially this fucker, the voice of Narat, so I do sympathize a tiny bit more with the disfavored, but I still hate them as well. Then enough talking, there's work to be done. My lord, Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The lack of respect.
Before we go, you are owed payment, Firestarter. Our spies at the Vellum Citadel were nearly cut down by the disfavored. They have you to thank for their lives. Here is a taste of our gratitude.
The Archon of Secrets tosses a small handful of rings your way as he begins to leave. He taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and with one last twirl of his scepter, the Archon departs with his underling. Oh, rings is money! I was confused about why rings specifically, because it's the currency. I mean, I'm gonna catch the rings. The party has gained 300 rings. The Archon of Secrets lets out a small chuckle as he leaves. It's money. I'm gonna
Fine.
be prideful.
The fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us.
I'm with you on that, buddy.
You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what are the Scarlet? Okay, I would be honored to help. It's not true, but you know, I don't have the option that says fine. You have gained favored with the disfavored. That will always be funny to me. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash and then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you're ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer wally on their own. Is it Valley? I think it's Valley. I shouldn't call it Wally. Sorry. I should stop apologizing about my dumbass accent as well, I guess. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp. Due east. Seek him out if you must. "8 days to Kairos' Day of Swords." Fuck. Broken skull mask. Fuck, I would love to wear that. This battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village on the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently, their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Well, these two will always blame each other one day.
You got it.
Fatebinder Rixrow, am I right? I'm Civius, Commander and 3rd generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Civius the Younger, some folks can't keep track. The rank says Commander, but lately I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to our Marshal if you have something official that needs discussing. What is it you need? I overheard you asking the Earthshaker where the reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Redix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spell singers to help break his stalemate. This stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you were at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Don't just coddle the impact. Push back with your shield, take the momentum. Iron Marshal I'm gonna pronounce that name in Hungarian for funsies. Marshal Aranyos, field commander of the disfavored, pounds her fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. I guess it could be also Aranyos. This is very fucking funny to me, but yeah, I guess it's Irenaeus. Whatever. I set eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you have lost. The disfavored officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat as she clears her throat. Need to stay on top of the troops or their skill will rust. It's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. It was mentioned you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades massing along Placid Echo Call and Littletooth crossings. Oh, so along Placid, Echo Call and Littletooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-prong attack. Well, it's funny to see the word three-prong, or the expression. I was just looking at three-pronged beard braiding styles. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kyros's edict, should we fail. So I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. This is the second major attack on the river, correct? What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up the river, but at that point everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no corps backup, it was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you how exactly they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a long, pained sigh. We found bodies washing up in the river for days. It's not often the Triersmen put up such a good fight. It certainly made us reevaluate the number we'll need to take this valley. Really? Are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy, you just chose to disregard their warnings? We can pass out blame after the war. Did I read this? I think I did. We can pass out blame after the war, only the Oathbreakers matter now. Quite right. Getting our emotions into the mix won't hasten this campaign. Alright, I will assist. Then our plan might work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes from you to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunon, the educator, selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust you will honor us all on the field. Antio will be leading the charge at Echo Call Crossing. Assisting you will be Beric of the Stone Shields. She points to a heavily armored soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the forge-bound burned, sloshed, and on Dappleseed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and this armor doesn't exactly come off. Oh boy. Tactically, it's quite brilliant, but otherwise it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Arrhenius signals to the hawking presence. Beric, come to meet the Fatebinder. Oh, looks like shit. The soldier that steps up to you better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder. The Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
I should just note silently because this guy is sure of himself. And it's definitely not an honor. Beric returns your nod. Silent, save for the creaking articulations in his alloyed carapace.
Beric, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
Just a minute, you two know each other?
No. Oh, that is to say, yes. I'm already as familiar with this ironclad halfwit as I care to be.
She regards Beric with a mixed look.
We don't have time to trade jabs today, Verse. After the siege, you can throw as many tantrums as you please. I suggest that we remain focused on the mission.
No offense to the mission, but seeing you looking like a garbage heap and reeking of a mass grave is more amusing by far. Did you forget how to don your armor, or did Graven Ash leave you out in the rain?
Beric sighs, a frustrated growl shaking his iron enclosure of a suit. I mean, we have just been introduced, but fine, I don't believe we have been acquainted.
It's challenging enough to experience battle from a courtroom, much less remember the faces of your cohorts. I wouldn't expect you to know me under these accursed blades of rust.
He bangs on his malformed chest armor for emphasis. The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help. And more importantly, if my worries come true and the chorus tries to impede the mission, we will have an observer from the court on our side.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Beric accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Beric, you have been without a cohort since the last Battle of Starward. It's time we get you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder service. You are to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? I suppose I could be in worse company than that of a renowned mage slayer. I have seen how this one treats any upstarts who fail to recognize the benefits of Kyrus' peace. Oof, okay, I remember that. Though I would much rather attend to my duties here, that is unless you're serious about my change of assignment, Iron Marshal. That's an order, Beric. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He can be as stubborn as pulling a spider out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I do mind, but I'll allow it anyway, if only so I can put a large objective in myself and the enemy. Why? Like, it's not an honor, but okay, I'm honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side, I guess. Excellent, I look forward to your success in the field. Alright, buddy, how you holding up? Oh, I didn't level her? Look, I'm gonna put a point. Wait. Oh, she doesn't have attribute points? Wait, what can I do with her then? I'm confused. Oh, it highlights for everyone, even if there's only one person who can distribute points. I'm gonna put a point here, just so it doesn't have negative magic defense. I'm gonna put another one later on. That sounds good. Okay, we have some quests.
Graven Ash protects.
Oh, hold up, the AI. Protector. Defend party. Aggressive blade dancer. Okay, that should be good. Let's see, anything else we can do here? The Oathbreakers already had their chance. No use in wasting self space on traitors of Kairos. Okay then, buddy. Gonna see if Bitterquip wants anything from us now. Back again. Bitterquip looks you up and down, his face amused. Have you so little to do besides standing around in the disfavored camp? Okay, bye. By you, I guess we're leaving then. Can we change the formation here? It's not great because I would love for Beric to be up front, but he's got something to say and she's got something to say as well. Couldn't help but notice how you were eyeballing the disfavored symbol littered around camp. It's hardly a symbol, just a scroll. That's true, but it used to be the pride of Graven Ash's Legion before Kairos made them deface it. What happened? Word has it that Ash has been under more scrutiny than other Archons, seeing as he took a stand against Kairos in the past. Even though he bent the knee in the end, that doesn't place him above suspicion. Kairos and other Archons keep him on a tight leash. Ash's troops impressed the growing empire, but Kairos made them sacrifice everything they were up to that... What? Made them sacrifice everything they were up to the point Ash surrendered. Okay. They have been disfavored ever since and fighting to earn back their honor. I guess that's why you don't cross the Overlord. Kairos holds a grudge with a mean, jealous streak. Actually, I have other questions. Go on then.
What do you need?
Oh, fuck. We'll talk again later. That's a lot of things that I don't care to talk about. But she still has this thing. How did you do that? Verse looks at you with a quizzical expression. Do what? Back in the Archon's war tent, you cast an edict as casually as reading a supply shipment. How did you do that? Well, I have done it before. You cast the Edict of Fire on the Vellum Citadel. I heard about it. How Kairos' anger raised a volcano from under the sage's own fortress. That was some impressive work. I'll just nod silently. Well, call me impressed. Considering that you have read the words of Kairos more than once, I'm surprised that you're even alive to tell of it. Your vocal cords should have turned to ash by now. You know, all this talking is helping that process for sure. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just worth recognizing that you have what you have done. Not only are you Tunon's Fatebinder, you're the mouthpiece of the Overlord. Gives me plenty of reason to stick around. You're going places and I want to see where they lead. If you say so, I have some questions about you.
What do you need?
Nothing actually, bye. There's more! When will she shut up?
Fatebinder.
Verse poses to nod in your direction.
What do you need?
Maybe that's always there?
You look as if you have something on your mind. By all means.
Placing his weapon to his side, Beric salutes you. The joints of his armor groan in protest.
What can I do for you?
Let's discuss some immediate concerns. Well, you know, I tried talking to them. This is not leading anywhere, so I'll just fuck off. Well, I suppose we're going to the Scarlet Chorus camp now. Your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian guard. You can go no farther until you deal with them. It's an ambush. Well, fellas, you have no idea what you have just done.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A sweat of blue fabric rests draped over her arm. Alright.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her side remain in ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. Run while you can. No. I'm gonna go with you have me at a disadvantage.
I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and today I speak on behalf of the Vendrian Guard.
I advise caution, Fatebinder. Only thing more dangerous than a tearsman is an educated one.
Metal articulations groan as he tries to softly move his hand towards his blade. There's a blue flag, I expect you will honor it.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos's way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Assuming he's our prisoner, what would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy, got other limbs too.
I would not have us barter with oathbreakers. Certainly not for anything less than disfavored lives.
Alright, that's a bit fashy, my friend. Also, you're not my friend.
You say there's something worth less than a disfavored life. Call me intrigued.
Alright. Not sure what to do here. I don't like our options. But I will not negotiate with Oathbreakers. I don't know. Tarkus Deimos. So all of these are lies, but I do think... Oh, I don't know. Sorry, that name means nothing to me.
No, I'm sorry. I'm asking about one man out of thousands that have been slain by Kairos's forces. It's not like I remember the name of all your friends that I've killed.
Wow.
If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Though you rarely have the luxury of matching names to the countless tearsmen you have encountered, you are reasonably certain she's asking about the Vendrian Guard warrior that took Drestis hostage at Edgering Ruins. He did not survive the encounter. I'm gonna be honest. Palox Tyrell is dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
Here's the thing. I would like to be respectful, but not bow deeply respectful. But the other options are way too openly hostile, so I don't like them. Bow deeply. Sorry you did not find what you were seeking.
Then all that remains is for me to thank you for hearing me out. In accordance with our ancient customs north and south, let us part with peaceful accord.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow. No, they all turned at the exact same time, game. What are you talking about?